This is Module 2, Lesson 1 homework. We're working on multiplying multi-digit numbers and pulling out the tens to be able to do this a little bit easier. So number 1 says fill in the blanks using your knowledge of place value units and basic facts. So what they want us to look at here is that we have 43 times 30, but really we could think that this is 43 ones times 3 tens. And we know that 43 times 3, we could do that really easy. 3 times 3 is 9, 3 times 4 is 12. So we know that's 129. So 129. We know that ones times 10 equals tens. So we know that this is going to keep in the tens. So when we go over here to write out 43 times 30, we can say that this is 129. And then we need to not forget about that 10. So that it would be like multiplying this by 10. So we would have a 0 right there. When you get down here, it's asking you to do the same kind of thing, but it's pulling out more of the information. So we have 80 times 5,000. So we know that 80 is like saying 8 tens, and that 5,000 is like saying 5 thousands. And then we now have 8 times 5 is 40, and that 40 is already there for us. And then we have 10 times thousands, which is 10 thousands. And that would mean that 80 times 5,000 is 40, and then we need to not forget about our 10 thousands, so we would need to do 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros on the end of that, making this 400,000. When we get down here, it says determine if these equations are true or false. Defend your answer using your knowledge of place value and the commutative, associative, and or distributive properties. More important is using your knowledge of place value. If we say that we have, for letter A, 35 hundreds equals 5 tens times 7 tens, well, we know that 5 times 7 is 35, and we know that tens times tens equals 100, so that would be 35 hundreds, or 3500. And each one can kind of be done like that, just knowing your multiplication facts and then seeing our place value here and then what the multiplying place values in the product is. If we look for B, I can see already that we have 770 times 6 equals 77 times 6 times 100. And we can see here that we have 77 times 6 here, and we have 77 times 6 here. We have 1 0 here, which would mean that this is 77 tens times 6, and that does not equal 77 times 6 times 100. There's one too many tens being multiplied here. So this is 77 tens, whereas this would be like saying 77 hundreds. So this is false, because there is one too many tens in the product. When we go up to number 3, we say find the products, show your thinking. The first row gives some ideas for showing your thinking. So we can see that it says 5 times 5 is 25. Well, 5 times 50 is 25 times 10, which equals 250, and it keeps going. So if we go to letter B, we have 80 times 5. Well, we know that 8 times 5 equals 40, and then 40 times 10 equals 400. So we can't forget that 0 there. And then if we have here, we have 8 times 5 times 10 times 10. We get our 8 from this 80, this 5 from this 50, and then we have this 10 here and this 10 here. So it'd be 8 times 5 times 10 times 10, which we have 40 times 100, and then we have 4,000. For this next one, it's using the same digits and the same concept of place value. So we have 8 times 5, and then we have this 8 was multiplied by 100, and this 8 would be multiplied by 100 again, so we have 8 times 100. 8 times 5 times 100 times 100, which would be 40 times 100 times 100, which equals 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, which would give us 400,000. And in this one, same kind of thing, 8 times 5, and then in this 8,000, we have 1,000. And then in this 50, we have 10. So we have 8, 8 times 5 is 40 times 10,000, which equals 100,000. Well, 400,000. There we go. Get down to the bottom. We have a couple of word problems. A concrete stepping stone measures 20 square inches. What is the area of 30 such stones? So if we have 20 square inches, or inches squared, not squared, inches squared, times 30 stones, we know that we have 2 times 3 equals 6, and then we have a 10 here, and we have a 10 here. So 2 times 3 is 6 times 10 times 10, which equals 600 inches squared. All right, and that's the homework for lesson 1.